Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Hazbin Hotel, Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4. But before we get into that, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Sure, to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Hazbin Hotel, and of course, hit that subscribe button. This helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, really enjoyed the first two episodes. Felt like a lot of different ways that we can go within this story. One episode in hell, one episode in heaven, and, you know, no disrespect to our hell characters, because, you know, I do love them. And I am happy with the time that we got here with them for episodes 3 and 4. There was a lot of things I really did enjoy about it. But, you know, the heaven storylines were really more intriguing to me last week as opposed to the hell storylines. Now, I'm still very much engaged. I'm still very much loving the show. I really like the structure of these two episodes. But, you know, everything that we set up in heaven, I was really looking forward to going back and seeing what's going on. How are they handling the lockdown? What's Luke gonna do? Are we gonna finally talk? Are we gonna see the mom talk for that matter and see what her true game plan is? I was very curious to see that. But, you know, I was happy, more than happy, to spend time with Charlie, Vaggie, Nifty, the whole entire game right here in episodes 3 and 4, especially since now Charlie knows that redemption can happen. But she doesn't have any proof, and she goes through this whole extreme measures to try to prove it because she has a bad rep. And what I really loved about episode 3, and, you know, we got in a little bit in episode 4 because we got a little bit of a carry on from that, is that, you know, typically when you have these shows where it's a group of misfits coming together, right? Sure, you know, Angel was already staying at the hotel, but he really wasn't fully bought into it. He was just kind of using it as a place to crash. Husk was just there because Alistair forced him to, because he sold his soul to him. Nifty was kind of always in, but, you know, they weren't really a team yet until we got to, I want to say, what, episode 7, maybe episode 8, where, you know, the war is about to happen. Like, okay, we're all in this together. The bar episode where Charlie and Vaggie go to heaven. It was about that episode where I feel like, okay, yeah, no, they are a core group here. And typically, when you go from season 1 to season 2, in season 2, you get the breakup, right? Okay, we brought them together, so now we got to tear them apart just to bring them back together again. And I guess that could still be at play here, but I feel like overall it wasn't, because, you know, we pushed Angel does to the brink of, you know, trying to redeem him and doing everything that Pensions did, right? And then, you know, he even goes, look, Charlie, I know you didn't really mean that. It's whatever. Let's just end this. And then when they think they finally cracked the code of, hey, face your sin, and he doesn't want to talk about it, you know, she still stands up for him. You know, him and Husk get at it too, because Angel was going to die because he was going to save Husk, and Husk didn't want Angel to die. So they get an argument on it. You know, Angel even uses that old line of like, I don't need your help, Whiskers. And then when we get to episode 4, where it's kind of, you know, closing that chapter a little bit, you know, people are complicated, and people, I mean, I just had this with one of my good buddies at work. You know, we kind of got into it a little bit, and then, you know, some words were said, and then later on, you know, we just go up to each other and goes, hey, this meme is pretty funny, right? Like, that's a true family, you know, or true good work colleagues who just really get along with each other. Like, yeah, we're not going to get along every single day, but, you know, we'll argue and then go, hey, this meme is pretty funny. Like when Angel's like, isn't that cute? That's pretty cute, right? And then Husk is like, that is cute. Listen, Angel was going to start saying to apologize for him until Nifty comes in and go, hey, we have to go help Alistair in a really badass fight scene that happens on episode 4. So I really did like that. I think that was the thing that really enamored me throughout these two episodes, was the whole, hey, we are still a core group of, hey, just give them a minute. Now, we haven't had Angel and Charlie talk. I hope we get that next episode, and maybe that does get glossed over. Maybe we do talk it about a little bit more, because, you know, he wants to do those therapy sessions. Angel has really come a long way, so I wouldn't imagine he stays mad at Charlie. I mean, for goodness sake, he's still clocked into the hotel. Cherry Bomb is now clocked into the hotel as well. Really like what we went on with her for episode 3, I should say. I would say overall, episode 3, even though we had the Angel and Charlie stuff, and, you know, with Vox and all that, which overall, I'm still kind of waiting to, like, really feel the threat of Vox. They just feel like trolls to me at this point. Online trolls where, it is very I can't say the word, but it really resonates, that's the word, with how today's media is, of dictating on what's going to be said and what's not going to be said and what's going to be published and what could be tweaked here and there. But again, overall, I don't really see them as like real bad guys. I just see them as dicks, and they're in hell, so I kind of expect that to happen. I don't know, this plan of them trying to get up to heaven, I'm still trying to wait to see how that plan is actually going to be in execution, because again, right now they're just assholes, but they're in hell, so of course they're assholes. But yeah, episode 3, I would argue, again, even though we have the Angel and Charlie stuff, that really takes the core of it. I would say episode 3 is Cherry Bombs, for the most part. One, she has the song with Pinches, very good song, I really like that. Her constantly struggling. I mean, she dealt with it in episode 1 a little bit, because why would he sacrifice himself for me? She's going through all these different feelings of grief and all that. So like, all they did was fight, but maybe that was their love language. You don't really know a relationship of what love is until you're in that kind of a relationship, or you give that kind of relationship a shot to see if you even like it. And that could be just their love language of how they were talking back and forth. I mean, Pinchas, he's finally crossed those pearly gates, but he might as well be in hell once again, right? Because he doesn't have the love of his life. Cherry just going through all the things that, like, I didn't really get to know the dude, and yet he was willing to sacrifice himself for me. He kissed me. He did all these different things. And, Husk and Angel are able to catch on to him and let him know, hey, he used to be buddies with Baxter. You can go talk to him. His room is in the basement. I'm not going to go talk to Baxter. And, of course, he does. So I really like that tidbit within this episode. I think out of the two, I think I liked episode 3 slightly a little bit more than episode 4. That's not to say episode 4 wasn't a lot of fun. It was Alistair's episode. I was clamoring for more Alistair 2, just to know what is his deal. Who was the deal that he made with? And it turned out to be our cannibal friend from season 1, who I really thought was going to be a one-off, or, just the lovely grandma that Charlie goes to visit to give some nice advice. And I really want to know what her plan is as to why she needs Charlie. Because, that's not the deal. You need to be with Charlie. You have to do what I say. Once you pay your debt, then you can be free. And also getting Alistair's human form. We got her Pinchas. Maybe that's going to be the formula, because as of right now, it's 2 songs for 1 episode, the first, the odds. And then you get 3 songs in the second episode, the evens. And then both in episode 2 and episode 4, the evens, if you will. We got a human backstory for one of our hell characters, right? We got Sir Pinchas in episode 2. We got Alistair here in episode 4, that he was a cannibal. He ate people and killed people for fun. Like, he always knew he was going to be evil. Hell, when he made this deal, he knew he was going to hell. He just wanted to be the most powerful demon, or be an overlord on arrival, as opposed to, working his way up to it, which was really, really interesting thing to see. And then, also the trajectory of Alistair, because in season 1, he was the guy that we could rely on, right? He was the one that, hey, once Alistair's here, he's going to be in control, and he's going to be able to lock it down, right? It's true, like, fourth quarter comeback king for a quarterback type, the guy that is going to have that killer instinct. And here we see him just being dangled, and he's not in control whatsoever. We see, our cannibal friend, she has control, and, let her know, like, hey, I own your strings. And then, of course, he sells himself the box, which he intentionally did. So Alistair is in control in this uncontrollable way, where Vox is just, parading him around like, I won, and Alistair is just buying time. I think during the reprise of whatever the first song from episode 4 that Alistair and our cannibal friend does, they do the reprise of that, but with Vox, you see Alistair starting to gain power again. And of course, that fight scene with Vox and Alistair, and then, Husk and Nifty come into play, and then the other V's come into, they dropped some money on that animation. It was really, really cool to see Charlie dealing with everything at the news station 1. I don't know why she brought Nifty. That really made no sense to me. It was fun. I liked it. Going back and forth, getting confirmation that Charlie's bi was pretty funny. Just going after the news reporter about how, is it Killjoy? Killjoy, is that the news reporter? Like, you're homophobic, all you do is just making fun of my sexuality, please stop. Nifty having a song, it was like a K-pop version of it, because like she starts singing a different language when she is actually giving up, like, Charlie's a great boss, I love all the people there. It's in a different language that no one understands. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, the Alistair stuff was the one that was more intriguing and dicing to me whatsoever. And again, that through line through episode 3 and 4 with Angel and Husk of, you know, how they argued with each other. But, you know, later on, you know, it was just whatever. Like, you know, if you've ever been in very close working environments, or you've gotten really close with someone at work, or, you know, just a friend in general, if you will, or hell, even a family member, you know, you argue with each other. I mean, it's like the sibling thing where, you know, you cuss each other out, and then instead of saying sorry, you just go in and go, going to McDonald's, do you want anything? Like, it was just, I just really appreciated that. I am still curious to know what is the overall plan for the show. I think now, if we don't go back to heaven in the next run with the next 2 episodes, 5 and 6, then maybe we just settled in on Vox for this season, and then maybe we get back to Loop in season 3. But I do hope we do see our heaven characters, because I love Emily. Her positivity is just so over the top, and yes, it can be annoying, but man, I just love her for it. I do want to see what Pinchas is doing. I am very curious to see how Sarah's taking care, handling everything, and again, what is going through Lute's mind and how she plans on getting back to hell to try to kill Charlie. And again, the mom. I want to hear the mom's voice. Who is voicing the mom? And I want to know what the mom is thinking, what the mom is going to do. Is she really good? Is she really bad? Why is she ignoring her husband and her daughter? Also, I really loved everything we did with Lucifer, and I think it's episode 4 where he's just poking the bear with Alistair. I would imagine they get in a fight pretty soon, since I think Alistair is probably going to stay heel, which kind of upsets me, but you know, heaven's not for everyone. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this arc of Hazbin Hotel. Loving the show still. Can't wait for next week to see what else we are going to do. Again, hope we do see heaven a little bit, but you know, if we stick with hell, that's fine too. I love the characters there. Good songs still, love the themes. Just want to know what the clear direction is of the story, because I feel like in season 1, it was pretty clear from the get-go. While here, there's still so many different ways we can go, and I still don't know what the true real threat is at this point. If it is Vox, we need to beef them up a little bit to actually know what the plan is, as opposed to just wreaking havoc on Charlie. But yeah, comment below, let me know your thoughts on these next 2 episodes. Leave a like if you made this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And of course, hit that subscribe button, as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze a day, guys, because life is too short not to give you all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.